Welcome once again. So this is a continuation of the problem on the centrifugal pumps. So this is a problem wherein we deal with slip and the slip coefficient. So let us dive into the problem. So let us see what is given. A centrifugal pump with an impeller diameter, outer diameter of 1.05 meter, that is D2, which is given as 1.05 meter, runs at 1000 rpm, that is N is given 1000 rpm. The blades are backward. We must understand when I say blades are backward, that means it is less than 90 degree, which also means falling HQ characteristics. I hope you remember all those things, right? Then definitely, as I told, it is less than 90 degree. In the problem itself it is given beta 2 is equal to 20 degree, right, with the wheel tangent blade tip. If the radial velocity of flow at the tip, that is Vf2, radial velocity of flow is Vf, at the tip means it at the outlet it is 8 meter per second, and slip coefficient mu is 0.86. Now let us go back to the definition of slip and slip coefficient and brush up things a little bit. That is, this is nothing but the ideal Euler's head divided by actual Euler's head. Okay, so just to refresh your memory, sorry, this is actual divided by ideal. Therefore, now then what else is given? He says slip coefficient is given as 0.86. Then he is asking us to find out the actual work input. Okay, work input, which is H, right? Actual, this is what he is trying to ask us. Then second parameter is hydraulic efficiency, which is also called the manometric efficiency, isn't it? Then the absolute velocity of fluid at the impeller tip, that is V2. Then at last he gives another case wherein he says he will fit the pump with a, what do you call, a diffusion chamber. Then he is asking us to find out or study even what is the effect that it has on the hydraulic efficiency. Again, this is an observation problem or a case study problem which is taken from the actual industry, isn't it? Let us see how the diffusion chamber affects the hydraulic efficiency of the machine. Now let us dive into the problem wherein it is given. So let us first draw the velocity triangles as usual. Let this be the inlet velocity triangle, radial outward machine, which is VR1, V1 is equal to VF1, VR1 goes at an angle beta 1, this is U1, U1 becomes 0, right? So this is the inlet triangle. Now coming to the outlet velocity triangle. This is of lot of importance in this problem. Okay, so I will just name them A, B, C and D. Okay, you know what it is already. This is V2, this is VR2, this is VF2, okay, this is beta 2 and this is alpha 2, isn't it? Now in the problem the case is clearly given that there is slip. Since slip coefficient is directly given, we know there is slip. Now what is that slip? As we discussed, slip is that factor in which there is reduction in the blade tip velocity because of the certain factors like eddy currents and shock at the entry. So even though however mechanically good we design the equipments, the shock is what do you call unavoidable. So because of all those factors, slip happens. So now if ABCD, so let me write here very clearly, if ABCD is the ideal case, then so what is the actual case? The actual case is wherein there is reduction in BC value, right? So let me write so taking from this point that is right. So A, B, C, D, E, B, F. So triangle BEFC D. Okay, so let me write clearly EBFD is the actual triangle, wherein you can see the reduction in VU2 has happened. This is VU2 actual, this is VU2. So let me call this VU2 as VU2 dash, the actual VU2 as VU2 dash, and then U2 remains same. We must know that, right? U2 remains same, that means BD remains same, but what changes is this factor. Okay, so this is what is called, this difference is what we call slip. Okay, so now because of slip, what changes? The value of VU2 changes here, right? It gets reduced in the actual case. So that is why we have something called slip coefficient. You must understand that before we get into the problem. Now let us see what else we can calculate. So since D and N are given, we can directly calculate U. So at the outlet U2, blade speed at outlet U2 is equal to pi into D2N divided by 60. So pi into diameter at the outlet is 1.05 meter into N is given to be 1000 RPM divided by 60. So upon calculation, U2 becomes 55 meter per second. Okay. Now let us see what else we can calculate. Okay, so since we know U2, and we have the triangle also, let us calculate the Euler's head. The Euler's head HE is equal to, we already know it is U2 VU2 divided by G. Alright, now what is U2? U2 we have just calculated, but from the triangle, if I can write it, it can be written as U2 minus VF2 cot beta 2. So right, again this is quite familiar by already, divided by G. So since all these values are given, HE is equal to, U2 is 55 into 55 minus VF2 is given to be 8 meter per second into cot of beta 2. Beta 2 is given as 20 degree divided by G, 9.81. Therefore, so this value will be 9.81. So Euler's head will be, upon calculation, 185 meter. Right? So now, what is this Euler's head? So this is calculated for the VU2 dash, isn't it? So therefore, not the reduced value, right? So this is Euler's head ideal. Understood? Now we are directly given with the value of slip coefficient. So using slip coefficient, I can easily calculate HE actual should be equal to mu into HE ideal, right? 14% less, so it becomes 0.86 into 185. So upon calculation, actual Euler's head will be 159 meter, right? This is the actual Euler's head. Continuing from there, so now let us try to find out what is that first thing, actual work input per kg of water, right? So that is what he is trying to ask us, right? So that is very simple. The energy actual, which is equal to, definitely the change in enthalpy is equal to G into Euler's head. But which Euler's head? Actual Euler's head, not the ideal one. Okay, he is specifically asking us HE actual, so it becomes 9.81 into 159 meter. Therefore this becomes 1563 joule per kg, right? So this is the actual work input by the pump per kg of water, right? So now what is the second thing he is asking to find us? That is the exit speed, that is V2, right? So how do you find V2 now? Again, going back to the triangle, from velocity triangle, I can write so V2 square, applying the Pythagoras theorem, is equal to V2 square plus Vf2 square, isn't it? So this becomes V2 is equal to square root of Vu2 square plus Vf2 square, isn't it? But how do we know all these values? We know Vf2, right? Vf2 is given to be 8 meter per second. But what about Vu2? We have to calculate Vu2. So to calculate Vu2, so let this be question number 1 as it is. To calculate Vu2, let us modify. Now let us go back to the triangle here. Now let us see what is Vu2 here. What is this Vu2? It is nothing but U2 minus this value x, right? So this x can be written as Vf2 cot beta 2. We have just written it here, right? So let us calculate only this value, x value, and then subtract in the U2 value. So what is this Vu2? It is U2 minus Vf cot beta 2. So let us try to find out that, and then we shall calculate the U2 dash also. So let me say Vu2 is U2 minus Vf2 cot beta 2. So substituting back, it is 55 minus Vf2 is 8 into cot beta 2 is cot 20, if I remember it right. Yes. So this is the Vu2 value, which is 33 meter per second. But this is an ideal value. But what is the actual Vu2? Actual Vu2 is Vu2 dash, right? So that is according to the slip coefficient which is given. So this will be again 14% less into 33 becomes U2 dash becomes 28.4 meter per second. So that I need to substitute here, isn't it? So therefore equation 1 becomes V2, the speed of the fluid at the outlet, becomes 28.4 squared plus 8 squared whole root. So therefore V2 is equal to 29.5 meter per second. So this is the speed of the fluid at the outlet. We must always remember that the speed at the outlet always contributes to the energy losses. The more the speed at the outlet, the more the losses in the machine, isn't it? So based on that factor, we will solve this problem. So now coming to the next factor, next thing he is asking us to find out is to find out hydraulic efficiency, which is also known as the manometric efficiency, isn't it? This is quite easy since we know already. So hydraulic is equal to manometric divided by Euler's head, right? Therefore this is can also be calculated as U2. So manometric head is Euler's head minus losses. Losses we already know, right? Manometric head is U2 Vu2 divided by G minus losses, and the losses are definitely V2 square by 2G, right? So let us calculate. So substituting U2 Vu2, right? U2 Vu2 is 55 is U2 into Vu2 is, so since I have this value already, actual value is 149 meter, right? Minus V2 square. V2 I just calculated 29.5 whole square divided by 2 into 9.81. So I will get manometric head as, what do you call, 114.8 meter. Okay, this is the manometric head. Now going back to the hydraulic efficiency, this is manometric head divided by the Euler's head, right? That is 114 divided by 159. Therefore hydraulic efficiency of this pump will be 72%, right? This is the problem. Okay, so now here the hydraulic efficiency is a factor of losses, right? So what are the losses here? They say about 30% is a loss. Now what do we do to counter this? Here generally we fit, to reduce losses, we fit the pressure losses, even in turbines also this is being studied already. So to reduce the pressure losses, we will fit this with a draft tube, right? So in turbines it is called draft tube, but here it is called a diffuser chamber, right? In pumps it is called diffuser chamber. Now let us see if there is any change that is happening because we set the diffuser chamber at the very outlet. Okay, so now let me show you this with figure. So if this is your centrifugal pump, okay, what is the entry velocity? It is V1. What is the exit velocity? It is V2, right? So now this V2, for the maximum efficiency of this pump or any turbo machine, V2 has to be as minimum as possible. V2 has to be a very minimum value, right? If it is maximum, then there are losses. Now how do I reduce V2? So I have a machine known as a diffuser pipe. So let me call this pipe D, right? A diffuser chamber, right? So what happens in a diffuser? Obviously there is reduction in pressure, right? So that pressure as it gets converted into something else, the kinetic energy, isn't it? So now the outlet velocity after the diffuser is, let me call this as V3, isn't it? Now for this diffuser he gives us the efficiency 75%, isn't it? This is the diffuser efficiency, and he says the exit velocity V3 is found to be 5 meter per second, right? What was our V2 value? Our V2 value was 29.5 meter per second. What is the exit velocity after going through the diffuser? It is 5 meter per second. That means we have considerably reduced the exit velocity now. Now let us see what is its effect, right? So now the gain in head, or the H plus, so let me call it H plus, is equal to efficiency of the diffuser into gain in the head is obviously change, that is V2 square minus V3 square whole divided by 2G, gain in the kinetic head. So let me substitute 0.75 into 29.5 square minus 5 square whole divided by 2 into 9.81. I will get H plus, that is gain in head because of the diffuser, it is 32 meter. That means when I fit this diffuser, I will get 32 meter extra head. Now the question is, why do I need this head? Because of the diffuser I have got 32 meter extra head. What is its use? Now this adds to the actual manometric head, right? HM actual now becomes, what was the actual head? In the previous case, without any diffuser tube, it was 114 meter, right? Now this changes, actual manometric head changes into 114 plus the extra 32 meter head which is being developed because of the diffuser. Now this becomes 146 meter, right? So therefore when the actual head gets developed is very high, so hydraulic efficiency, the new hydraulic efficiency can be 146 divided by 159, right? Manometric head divided by the Euler's head, actual Euler's head. So let me write very clearly, HM actual because of the diffuser divided by HE actual. So here we have considered the actual cases only because of the slip factor, right? Now this becomes, HM actual is 146 divided by 159, that is almost 90%, right? So here, because of a small change, a small mechanical change, we have achieved almost 20% extra hydraulic efficiency, right? So this problem shows us the importance of the draft tube, or the, what do you call, the diffuser chamber in case of pumps.